This is Carol Rushton with another Middle East update. With Saudi Arabia's execution of a Muslim Shiite cleric in January, Iran's outrage over the execution, and the Saudis' decision to cut all diplomatic ties with Iran is an opportunity to explain the Sunni and Shia divide in the Muslim world. Most Americans have no idea that Muslims are basically divided into two groups, Sunni and Shia. This split in Islam occurred after the death of the Prophet Muhammad in 632 AD, when there was a disagreement over who should succeed him. Shias are known for being adherents of the Twelvers, who believe that someone called the Mahdi, the 12th Imam, who has been hidden by Allah until the right time, will suddenly appear at some point during the end times to bring in a one-world government under Islam. A great war will take place with the entire world bathed in death and blood until those left convert to Islam. The entire world will then be united under an Islamic caliphate. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? Shias are a minority in the Muslim world, and nations with a Shia majority include Iraq, Iran, Azerbaijan, and Bahrain. Sunnis make up the vast majority of Muslims, while not seeming to be as, shall we say, off the wall as their Shia counterparts. Sunnis still believe in the basic fundamentals of Islam. Executions are regular occurrences throughout the Islamic world for any violations of Islamic law, whether Shia or Sunni. Saudi Arabia is the most prominent Sunni Muslim country. Sunnis may not appear to be as radical as Shias, but on closer examination they are just more subtle in expanding Islamic influence. For instance, Saudi Arabia has made donations to American universities in the millions of dollars in exchange for these same American universities establishing chairs or Islamic study programs. For example, in 2007, Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal gave $20 million each to Georgetown and Harvard. Later that year, Harvard just happened to appoint one of its Muslim professors to head the Prince Al-Walid bin Talal Islamic Studies program. I'm sure this was just a coincidence. Because Saudi Arabia is Sunni and Iran is Shia, most of the time these two countries have not been able to unite on anything, unless it has been their mutual hatred of Israel and the Jews. However, since Iran has started to establish a nuclear power program, which no one believes is for peaceful purposes, rumors have surfaced about the Saudis' covert cooperation with Israel. Israeli media sources have reported Israeli military planes landing in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has repeatedly denied this. Why, after all these years of accusing Jews of being descendants of apes and pigs, would the Saudis suddenly be cozying up to one of their proclaimed enemies? The Saudis look at Iran's ayatollahs and mullahs, their nuclear program, their belief in the Twelver movement, their repeated pronouncements to wipe Israel off the earth, and coming to the conclusion that the Iranians would actually use a nuclear weapon to hasten the return of their Mahdi. Saudis think, these people are crazy. Don't misunderstand me. Any outreach from the Saudis to the Israelis will not change their outward opposition to Israel as a nation. But the Saudi royal family has a sweet gig. They live in luxurious palaces, are chauffeured around in Bentleys and Mercedes-Benzes, and can fly to European cities whenever they want to indulge in wine, women, and song, forbidden by strict Islamic law, while giving the appearance to their subjects that they really are the great religious Muslims they pretend to be. If Iran launches a nuclear weapon, even if it is against Israel, this will affect Saudi Arabia and the way of life the royal family has become accustomed to. As much as they hate the Jews, the Saudis know that Israel will never use nuclear weapons in the Middle East unless they are absolutely forced to do so. The Saudis would have no problem with allowing Israeli military jets to land in their country in order to refuel if those same Israeli jets were heading to, say, Iran for a strike on Iranian nuclear power plants. I hope this has helped you to understand a little more about what is going on behind the scenes in the Middle East. This is Carol Rushton asking you to pray for the peace of Jerusalem.